Hello everybody and welcome back to World of Warships Legends. My name is Spartan Elite 43 and tonight we are back with taking our very first look at the other brand new premium Titan, the Heat Ray, aka Godzilla. So let's look at our commander. We're using Takeo Takagi, Andrew Cunningham, and Jerzy Swirsky as our commander inspirations. A little bit goofed up on the commander inspirations because I was using that for my sneaky Yamato. Yeah. Beyond that, we are running Flammable Cannoneer, Gyrating Drill Bits, Marksmanship, and Emergency Specialist, with Will to Rebuild as our commander, our legendary skill. Now, I'm not using the Fusu commander, which I think would be a viable strategy as well, if you want to go that route, because these aren't known for their accuracy. I'm also not using Godzilla, obviously. I don't know. I don't think it's all that useful. I mean, you get basically the same perks. You got Flammable Cannoneer, Gyrating Drill Bits, you've got Marksmanship, you've got Emergency Specialist. It's all the same, with the exception of it gets a couple extras. You get Thick Hide, so you could reduce the risk of catching fire, and you get his spotter duration and spotter reload time boost. So it's up to you to figure out if you want that. And then Fusu was the other one that I know a lot of people have been talking about. And where are you at? Wait, hello? Oh, I was like, wait a second, I didn't see it. Fusu, where are you at? Right there. So Fusu, base trait, chance of fire being caused by the battleship's AG shells. The Japanese HE is fantastic anyway, so buffing that, never going to be a bad thing. Plus, you can get all of the same things that you normally would with this. So, I don't know. It's just not for me, personally. But you get Battle Spirit as well, so you reduce the... you get extra hit points, and you get a reduction in the incoming damage to your ship. But I just don't see the point of going this route, because I primarily use AP. So, that's just me. Anyway, let's look at the stats of the ship. I think I've babbled long enough. We're running Aiming Systems Mod 1 and Steering Gears Mod 2. Loadout. We are using the Community Contributor flag as well as the permanent camo that comes with it. We also are running the spotter plane rather than the fighter or the secondary mod. Alright, so survivability 57,100 hit points with a 34% torp reduction. Then you have 356 main guns. You get 12 of them, and they fire out to 18 kilometers, which I believe, somebody's going to probably prove me wrong, but I believe that that is the highest base range of any battleship at Tier 5. I think the Japanese have the longest base range. Correct me if I'm wrong. I'm going off of memory, so I'm sure I may be wrong, but I think that they do. Maximum HE shell damage is 5,700, 25% chance to set fires. AP shell is 11,220. You've got 8 127mm secondaries that reach out to 4.2 kilometers and reload every 5 seconds. They fire HE with 2,100 maximum damage and an 8% chance to set fire. You also have 14 152mm secondaries, which reach out to 4.2 kilometers and reload in 10 seconds, with an AP shell that does 2,900 damage potential. AA damage. You have 17 25mm guns that reach out to 3.1 kilometers and do 31 damage per second. You have 20 25mm Type 96s that do 50 damage per second and reach out to 3.1 kilometers. And you have 8 127mm secondaries that reach out to 5 kilometers and do 40 damage per second. Maneuverability. Maximum speed is 22.1 knots with our current build. Turning circle radius is 740 meters, so not bad, but not quite as good as the Primal. Rudder shift time of 13.4 seconds, again, not terrible. It's actually not bad for a battleship, that's pretty good. Concealment. Detectability by sea is 13.6 kilometers with our current build. We have a 11.9 kilometer by air, and 2 is always guaranteed, and the detectability while firing in smoke is 13. Armor. You have, let's see, 25 millimeters of bow plating, but you also get a 40 millimeter, is it 40? No, it's actually 102 millimeters. Good God. Seriously? That's really thick bow armor. But yeah, that's right at the waterline too, so that explains a lot, actually. I've never really looked at the Fuso's armor scheme before, but that's interesting. Yeah, that's actually a lot of armor. It's ridiculous. Okay, let's see. We want to look at our citadel, which goes from the front gun all the way to the rear, and has a very unique look to it, I guess, is the way to say it. But front gun all the way to the rear. It is mostly, it looks like, at waterline and below, so submerged, so that's good. Which makes sense for this ship. So, yeah, not bad. Guns aplenty, high number of guns, allows for a lot of damage from a single salvo. Long reach, above average main battery. I knew it! Hit them before they can hit you. And compromising, high caliber AP shells may overpin the armor, but may still arm, depending on shell velocity, meaning you don't have the most armor in the world for a battleship, even though you have really good armor at the front for some reason. But, you know, you don't want to count on overpins in this thing, trust me. The design of this battleship is based on Godzilla from Godzilla vs. Kong. She entered service in 2021, and there were one of them in the series. I know, right? So let's take a look at it. You know, when I see them out in the open, like when I'm going against them, I think that this kind of just doesn't look that good. But in port, it doesn't look too bad. And then, of course, you got Godzilla standing on top, and you gotta have Godzilla. I mean, Godzilla's a beast. Legend. Literally. And talk about a naval legend. I mean, he's always coming out of the ocean, right? Or she. Depends on which movie you watch. So, yeah. I like it. I like the look, but at the same time, we'll talk about the ship in a moment. So, with that being said, let's get to the gameplay. Alrighty, so, outside influences aside, whether I like Kong or whether I like Godzilla better, let's look at the two ships, and after ample seat time in both, I've got to personally choose Primal. Primal is a much better ship. It is more accurate, it can hit harder, it can do more, like, it's just better in pretty much every way. It's more maneuverable, it's got better armor, other than that weird strip at the front that I didn't know about until just now. But, that isn't to say that this is a bad ship. It's still a Fuso. It's still perfectly serviceable. It may not be the best battleship at Tier 5. In fact, it's far from it, because it's a Japanese battleship with none of the good points of a Japanese battleship. And all of the bad. But, that being said, it's still a perfectly capable ship, and we're going to showcase that in this match. And when you get favorable RNG, as I do in this match, you can really put a hurting on people. So, yeah, with that being said, let's get into this. Now, hopefully you guys haven't been enjoying. I know it seems like you have. All of the numbers are up, which is a good thing. Lets me know you guys are interested. Also, got some big news. I've got the contract with Ryan Szymanski and Battleship New Jersey to go ahead and start, or we're going to be making sure that tour works out for us. It'll be on June 26th. So, yeah, it'll be a Saturday in June, end of June, when we get to go to New Jersey and do that video. So keep an eye out for that. I know it's a little ways off, but just want to let you guys know. Still, if you guys want to, I'm not saying you have to or anything like that. If you want to, if you want to help out, I'll leave a link to my PayPal specifically for this video down in the comments, and it'll be pinned, just if you want. Anyway, we are going to push up this right side. We're on the new map. Can't ever remember the name of it, but we're on the new map. And we've got a Dallas out here. We already smacked their Fuso. Got a good 7,000 damage off of them early on a nice little clutch shot. This one, the Dallas sees it just in time, manages to speed up, and he's only going to take a little bit of damage here. But still, 2 overpins, bringing us up to 9,300 damage. Not too shabby. Now, this Ishmael and I are going to be put onto a side where we have to hold off 3 enemy ships. They get a cruiser and me, or they get a cruiser and 2 battleships, and we get me and an Ishmael and a carrier. And I'm not 100% sure how much the carrier ends up helping here, but I know he's doing a lot for the mid and the left side, so I'm not faulting the carrier at all. He was doing things, it just, I don't think he was helping us on this side particularly. But we've got a Fuso out here, we've got a Queen Elizabeth, and we got an Augury, and we're going to try to try to do everything we can. Now, Fuso is caught right off the bat here. He is fully broadside to us. We are going to lose a couple rounds into the mountain there, but most of them get through, and that's going to be a pretty solid strike. And between me and the Ishmael, we've already got that Fuso down below half his hit points. Just nasty. Nasty opening salvo. Now, he's already starting to reverse, and this next shot, I'm not going to lie, I got a little bit excited. I was expecting him to go much faster in reverse, and so I placed the shot a little bit too far out, and he's actually turning away. I recognize it a little too late after I'd already fired the guns. You'll see I completely whiffed these shells, just let him too much. Not a whole lot I could do. I did catch him with one overpin, but that could have been a deletion right there if I hadn't led him too much. Now, I realize these guys are being hesitant. The Algeru's backing off. The Queen Elizabeth isn't pushing up. And the Fuso's in full retreat mode now. So, I'm going to go ahead, take that as my sign. With the Ishmael, we're going to push up. So, you can see I'm already starting to turn back in. We are full, hard to port, trying to get turned in. And that's going to be the end of the Fuso. And finally, we get our Citadel. Gotta love that. Showing, yeah, you don't want to be broadside to Fuso. It doesn't end well. Of course, any battleship, but definitely a Fuso. Anyway, I'm looking over because they're requesting fire on the Dallas. I was looking to see if I had a shot. I don't have a shot yet. But I'm not going to forget about that guy, okay? I'm keeping an eye on him, even though I can't shoot him yet. Keeping an eye on what he's doing, what's going on around him. We've got a cruiser in Bravo trying to capture, but he's being harassed by the enemy carrier. We've got this Algery out here starting to push up. We've got the Queen Elizabeth broadside, but outside of my range. Can't quite hit him. So we're going to take a shot at a bow-tanking Algery. Again, we overmatch his armor. I'm not scared. So we take the shot, and we get a pretty solid hit right through the bow. One penetration, one shatter somehow. Gotta love that. Don't know how that happened, but yeah. Got one penetration anyway. And so we're just going to keep harassing this guy. If this guy wants to push forward on 2 battleships, yeah, I had to mute a guy here, by the way. There was a guy who spoke Spanish getting very angry and started screaming into the mic, but he didn't even have, like, a good mic. He had a really bad mic, and so when he was screaming it was just peaking and just destroying me. Hopefully you guys don't hear it in the video. But this salvo much better. We get 3 penetrations this time on the Algery. Not a lot of dispersion. We've been getting pretty fortunate on our RNG, and that's going to hold true for pretty much this entire game for us, which is actually good because our Ishmael didn't seem like he was doing a whole lot in the way of damage. I don't know how much damage he got on this side, but fairly confident I got most of it. But he did take a lot of hits. And finally we get the shot that we were looking for. Algery opens up. There's the death strike. Down he goes. You can't do that. And why would he go broadside, guys? Anybody? He's launching torpedoes, so what do? We start turning in immediately. Now, back to shooting at the Dallas. Remember, we didn't have a shot before, but we do now. We've got him lined up with the auto-aim, and we're going to go ahead and take the shot as soon as we have it. Now, this guy has very little chance of even expecting these shells. Like, why would I be shooting at him, right? He has no idea. By the time he realizes it, it's too late. Goodbye, sunshine. Go back to port. Giving us our 3rd kill. And now we're going to get a little congratulations or a thank you from the carrier player. He's pretty happy that we helped him get rid of that guy. And then it comes down to an Ishmael who has been beat on and a heat ray that's full health versus a Queen Elizabeth. The Queen Elizabeth, to his credit, is going to try to do the old Dreadnought Shuffle. However, you can only do the Dreadnought Shuffle if you bow tank the enemy's shells and then turn out. Okay? He was shooting at the Ishmael, which is why I went full broadside, so I could capitalize on him while he was giving us way too much angle. We get a pretty solid opening salvo against him, reducing his hit points considerably. You can see I'm already starting my turn, trying to get in, and he's going to wait for it. I don't want to fire right away, because he immediately starts turning out to get those rear guns involved, and that's going to allow us to get another nice shot into his broadside. And we hit him for 15,000 damage, and the Ishmael managed to touch him as well. So, yeah. Now, here I was expecting him to potentially come in and try to ram. So, I'm trying to turn out to avoid that potential, and so that's what I'm doing here. I'm turning all the way out. Carrier managed to drop some torps on him. I don't think he got a flood. And then, of course, he's going to open up one last time to try to get those rear guns involved on our Ishmael, and that's going to be the end of it. We're going to go ahead and destroy his gun and take him out. So, hopefully you guys enjoyed this video. This is pretty much it for the rest of the game. We're going to go ahead and head over into the Bravo cap and start capping. But this game is all but over. And so, again, it comes down to which would I prefer. If I was going to choose one of the two ships, I would definitely have to be Team Kong on this one. A, because King Kong has a brain and, you know, Godzilla is just a mindless beast. But King Kong has a brain, and the Primal is actually a fantastic addition. I like that ship. Not only is it good looking, but that ship performs even better than the base New Mexico, in my opinion. Or at least from what I remember of the New Mexico. But that's not to say this isn't a good ship. It's just, like I said, it's a Fuso. Like, if you played through the Japanese battleship line, you know exactly what I'm talking about when it comes to these Japanese battleships. They have games where they are lights out, absolutely on fire, nothing can go wrong. And then they have games where you just can't hit a dang thing. You literally can't. The shells just have all of the dispersion. I don't understand it. It's just like, and it happens for game to game. Like, one game will be great, the next game will be a freaking failure. Like, I don't understand it, but it's always been a thing with Japanese battleships. Always. And so, that's why I don't play a whole lot of them. I do play the Amagi occasionally and the Key because those are fun ships to brawl with. I do like that. That turtleback armor allows you to do a lot of things you wouldn't normally do. But, yeah, I do like playing those, but the grind up there, the Congo especially, I hated the Congo. Fuso I didn't really have too much trouble with. Nagato was fantastic back when I played it, but then they nerfed the crap out of it ever since. Like, it got nerfed back at the same time that Iowa and Amagi got nerfed. And, so, yeah, there just isn't a whole lot of love out there for the Nagato anymore. But it was fantastic when I played it. Now, we're going to go back in here. Like I said, we've got 98,000 hit points. We got 4 kills, just one short of a crack. And I was hoping to get close enough to possibly catch something. And it's not going to happen. Our team just overwhelmed the enemy on every front. Literally every front. And I don't know if you guys noticed, but there was a heck of a lot of racket going on in that left corner. There was a destroyer and a cruiser that spent like the first 2.5 minutes tied to one another. Like, the destroyer tried to go across him, and instead of trying to avoid the cruiser, he literally runs right into him. And then the cruiser starts turning out. He's trying to turn out. They're both going the same way. They were literally glued to one another for like the first minute and a half, 2 minutes of this match, which was hilarious. Albeit annoying when you're sitting here trying to do your thing and all of a sudden you get just horns and stuff constantly. But yeah, we did everything we could in this match. And I feel like it was a pretty solid game overall. Our team did extremely well. You can't really fault anybody other than maybe that guy who just died in the California. But he's been harassed by that carrier for a while. And we're going to get a little love tap from our buddy in the Ishmael. Our tank. We just played a perfect game as far as not getting shot. Literally didn't get touched and got 100,000 damage, more or less, with 4 kills and a dev strike. Like, you can't ask for much better than that. We didn't get touched. The Ishmael took it all. They shot at the Ishmael, and I got to sit back and punish them for it. So, yeah, it ended up being pretty good. And we get an assist cap here, me and the Ishmael doing our thing. Because that California died right at the end, we got a chance to get that cap, get a little bit of extra base XP. So, yeah, hopefully you guys enjoyed. Let me know who you guys are with. Team Kong or Team Godzilla. I haven't watched the movie yet, so no spoilers. All right? I do want to see the movie because I'm a geek. But I haven't seen it yet. So no spoilers down there. I don't want to see them. I might have to ban you. So, yeah. Like I said, 98,000 damage, first blood, high caliber, or dev strike, sorry. 2,395 damage. Or 2,395 base XP, 4 kills. And then the top person on our team was an Akatsuki, whose name was Godzilla. So if you like what I'm doing, punch the like button, leave a comment below, subscribe to the channel if you haven't already, and as always, I will see you in the next video.